Hey everyone, welcome back to my workbench. So, trying out my light off. There it is. I'm wearing this lab coat. Occasionally gets splashed with solder. And that's actually kind of unpleasant to be splashed with solder. Um, though I'm actually used to wearing a smock all the time at work, a ESD smock. I really don't have anything that's that sensitive in my workshop, so I'm not really. This is an ESD bench, but I'm not really that concerned about it. So, ooh, weird. So I'll be working on more, build up more 5200 parts tonight. A lot of soldering to do, hence the smock. Well, actually, it's a lab coat here. And then rather annoyingly, my Intellivision Sprint decided to not display any video on it, which is very annoying, to be honest with you. And I did like there's a empty text file on the USB drive to basically blank everything out. That didn't work. I'm just leaving it off for a couple days, and I'm gonna try to plug it into a actual TV one of these days. See if that helps. Um, Not just a monitor. Yeah, I actually opened it up and it is empty inside. It is a board about about this big, another board about this big in the entire thing. It's just all air. It's crazy. So for now, what I'm going to be doing is it's emulated anyway, so I'm just going to I have a dedicated emulation system over here, and that is going to be um, I'll make sure the configure I still have my prototype Sprint Marathon controller. So I'm gonna plug it in, make sure my Raspberry Pi is my emulation station is programmed with the exact same button configuration, and just run the Intellivision emulator on there, make sure all the buttons and directions work, and go from there. So yeah, that was a little disappointing. So it shouldn't stop production of my Marathon controllers because the Sprint is just an emulator anyway, and of course it doesn't affect the anything else in it because it's everything else I do is real hardware, or they use FPGA. And speaking of FPGAs, little secret projects I've been working on is, of course, I already cut somewhere there a a controller for my 7800, and then I have a 2600 controller in the works. That one's going to have paddles, and I'm almost tempted to put a keypad on it, but that might be a bit much. But I have a combination joystick and paddle controller, kind of like the Columbia system. And I also took some time to print out a couple of these. These are cartridge holders for 2600 and 7800 games. Quite nice, actually. I think I'm going to put some wood grain on the side of these and that. And as I said, speaking of FPGAs, field programmable grid array. Guess everyone what the hell FPGA means. It's basically you code the hardware into the chip so you can emulate or copy uh, the original hardware at full speed because it's actually hard coded into the grid array. Is the GA stands for. So got myself got this off of Express. This is an FC Twin, which stands for Famicom. So this is nice because it has you can do 8-bit or 16-bit, and got myself a little SNES cartridge with I don't know, 1,500 games, 3,000 games, who knows. So this is a little basically an EverDrive cartridge, which with everything on it. I actually like doing that for even the real systems because I don't like the wear and tear of pulling stuff in and out of the cartridge port, and that way you can just leave your stuff next to the display and not get your grubby hands all over the labels. Because my 5200 has a multi-cart, my 2600 has a multi-cart, my Mega Drive, Genesis is a multi-cart, and my Master System 2 all have multi-carts, and my Intellivision 2 have multi-carts. This, I do like having the option of actually not having to pull in and out all the time. I haven't got it set up yet because I was fighting my darn sprint last night. It's like I was wasting way too much time. Yeah. Which one's this guy on? I think it's sticking on 7. It is on 7. Excellent. Donkey Kong Country loaded on here. The advantage of FPGAs is that they fully emulate the original hardware, so you can get some real speed off them. I did not grow up with Nintendo, so my playing's gonna be crappy. As with everything on here, I try to only show games I actually own, so the authorities don't get too angry. Are you grabbing this game? My wife is really good at Nintendo games. She grew up on Super Nintendo. I did not. We weren't really a Nintendo family. So I'm gonna be making a I wasn't paying attention. Reason I went ahead and bought this is because I wanted to make a controller for the Super Nintendo, probably Nintendo. I think it's the same connector from the regular Nintendo. I don't know. Don't give me anything good in here. Oh, there are a lot of open source. That's good. Yeah, we know all these. There's a lot on here actually. Yeah, it's just what came off the. Got it from the. Straight from China. So yeah, I want to make a new controller for it because these style of controllers murder my hands. Now that I'm over 50, it's like arthritis city. So I'm gonna make a controller. I'll make one for myself basically, and if anyone is interested in them, I'll probably end up selling them too. One of the nice things about owning your own company, and you can put this on your taxes. Yay! Anything else I own on here? Castlevania. That's probably Super Castlevania. Super everything. Oh, there's a lot of games. We have California games here. Oh, California too. Oh, that's good. Where's the rest of it? Oh, I'm doing 11. Takes a while to iron it up again. I need to work on some parts, man. Pieces, parts. I am not gonna run this. It's Disney. It's really, 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 really aggressive with copyrights, by the way. Years ago, and my son was playing. He was 9 months old, 10 months old, something like that. The Picard maneuver there, and in the background playing very, very faintly was, I think, Under the Sea from Little Mermaid, and they flagged the copyright, and that was 19 years ago when they flagged that copyright. That's crazy. The channel's that old. Oh my goodness. Yeah, I think I've been on YouTube almost as long as YouTube. I know I've got hundreds of videos now, which is just crazy to think, because I'm not a big creator or anything. I'm just a guy in this workshop making controllers, man. And before, I used to do mods on retro video games. Like I did the remember doing the S video out for what's his name, Mark Bustler's what's the name of his channel? Classic Game Room. That was it. And I did the AV out mod for that one. And he had a video where he had the Atari Lynx version of Miss Pac-Man. He was going through all these different versions of Miss Pac-Man. And that copy of Miss Pac-Man was actually my personal copy of Miss Pac-Man. I didn't fall for it. That's fine. One thing fell off the table there. Nothing serious. But one thing fell over. So yeah, I did that way back in the day. And I work with this really wild system, this Auken from Taiwan, I believe. And that was wild because a couple years on, I look on the Wikipedia page for the Auken, and someone actually linked to my website on the because I went through it. I figured I made a adapter controller for a very nice gentleman, and he still sends me postcards every now and then. They're great. Always in strange places in the world, but that was fun because I got to play with this controller, and I found on Wikipedia someone that actually pointed to my page, because I actually took oscilloscope shots of the timing and the signaling on the controller. Turns out it was just a Super Nintendo controller, 2 pins flipped or 2 buttons flipped. It's nothing. It's kind of funny. So it was actually pretty easy to do, but it was interesting seeing how someone quoted me as the authority. I think it's happened to me several times where I go to look up research on something, and I go on Wikipedia, and someone just linked back to my page. Well, that's not very helpful. I already know that. I wrote it. And then, what was the other thing? Oh, today I'm at work. I'm trying to figure out something in KiCad. It's just a open source electronic. It's a schematic for electronics. I use it at work. I use it at home. I use it all the time. and I couldn't figure out how to add rows to it. You can insert tables into it, and I couldn't figure out how to actually insert tables into it. So we have a subscription at work for Claude, and I ask it, okay, how do I add rows to a table in KiCad? Didn't know, and then it goes web searching, and like it's like the time's ticking away. It's like over 45 seconds here, which it's like, oh my god, how much electricity am I burning right now? So I just did what I always used to do. I went to the wiki page for KiCad, and I found the answer in about 12 seconds, 13 seconds. I found the answer to my question. Turns out you just click out of the row. But yeah, it was way simpler than I thought. So I go on there, I find it, try it out in KiCad, worked great. And that's from the wiki, from the people who wrote it originally. And I come back to Claude. Finally gave an answer. It was after like, what was it? It was like 97 seconds of processing. So all you want to think how many tokens that ran through, how much electricity that took, and it was still wrong. It's like all I did was did an RTFM, and that was it. And it's like, really, all this inference, all these huge learning large language models, and I just go to the manual page or a wiki page, and I get a better answer faster. Well, that's a really good use of Earth's resources to come up with a machine which is somehow slower and worse than what we had before. It's awesome. The one thing that irritates me, it grinds my gears with these large language models or inference engines or whatever the hell you really are underneath, is they tend to want to make you happy more than give you something which is right, which I've noticed several times. I've put my own code in there and heard how robust it is. It's like, I don't care if you think it's robust. I want to know what's wrong with it. And it's not very good at that. It's like, tell me I'm an idiot and I did it wrong. But yeah. The other thing that grinds my gears is the every time I get like a super verbose email, it's like, okay, Gemini, summarize this stupid AI generated email so I don't have to read the whole thing. So it's like all we're doing is the AI to ask AI to do something, describe what the AI thing spewed out. It's like, this is TLDR. I don't care. I'm not going to sit here for 5 minutes and plow through this gigantic email to get the 2 little nuggets of information you had in there. You should have just typed the email yourself in the first place, and we'd all be happier for it. But no, we can't do that. Sorry, just venting. There's so many times, that's like at least the 3rd time now, where it was much quicker for me to just go to the manual or the wiki for whatever I was using, read it, and I got the right answer. Or an old message forum is where I get real answers from. I go on Claude or Gemini, it's like, they all spew almost the exact same answer out, which means it must have almost identical models going into them. And all 3 are, it's like 2 or 3 of them are wrong. It's like, what's the point? You're wasting electricity and we're not getting anywhere. But I digress. Which is why my personal life, I avoid AI as much as humanly possible, because I am an old fuddy-duddy. And I have yet to find a good use for it. Well, I take it back. I use AI very slightly for like the most mundane of things. If I need like a quick description of something, or to point me in the right direction, but that's about it. I don't really get much utility out of it otherwise. I don't generate images with it. None of my work here is done on AI. All the circuits here are all researched and done by me. There's no. It's like one of the reasons I don't have my schematics up online. It's like I don't want them scraped. I don't want them sucked in an AI somewhere. I mean, if you're human, you ask me, yeah, I'll give you some of the schematics, but I'm not gonna just put it out there in the general web. Everything's getting sucked up everywhere. It's like I don't work and do this so I can have an AI rip it off. All they are is complicated copyright violation machines. As someone who's worked with computers for how long have I worked with computers? 40, was it 2006? 42 years. I can tell you one thing. Well, two things. One, I love computers. I've had computers since I was a kid. They're great, fun to play with. They're incredible tools, but they're tools. They're not sentient. They're actually really not that bright at all. And anyone who's ever had to program in assembly language knows an actual computer knows how to do two things. It knows how to add, and it knows how to move. That is all they can do. Every function the computer will ever do is a combination of those two things, add and move. Is in like x86 assembly language, that is literally the only two things you could need to do. And it's like, what's multiplication? It's repeat addition. What's subtraction? It's just like the two's complement. It's all repeated two's complement. It's crazy. Like, and all it is moving data and adding data, and that's all they know how to do. It's amazing what we can do with just moving and adding and moving and adding. Of course, there's lots more instructions in there now, but at its core, everything breaks down to move and add, add and move. Take the two's complement. That's subtraction. Do that over and over again. That's division. And everything else is a derivative of it. It's like a lever. Every machine is actually some form of lever. Every machine you'll ever use in your entire life is some form of lever. A wheel is a lever. An inclined ramp is a lever. And if you really want to break it down, it's like every tool you've ever used is actually a lever. See? That's a lever. This isn't even a lever. This is just a stick. It's a hot stick. But yeah, everything you've ever used in your every machine you've ever used is some variety of lever if you break it down far enough. Alright. I'm going to solder for a few more minutes, and then I'm going to grab some cables and start soldering some cables together. Yeah, but that's it for tonight. Yeah, I already have the layout for this guy. I got my CNC. I'll end up cutting some a new controller for that. Yeah, if anyone wants like a controller for something, let me know. I mean, if you're looking for accessibility or just the fact you're arthritis, I can feel arthritis in my hands right now, actually. I can't solder like I used to. I can actually feel it in my hands, and it's actually kind of sad. I'm gonna reuse some of these parts. These things aren't free, man. And I changed my designs, so I don't need this anymore. It's a long way from me. Close to me. But yeah, it's annoying. Just like slow betrayal of your body because things wear out. That's the whole reason I bought a freaking $200. I think it was over $200 crimping tool. Just because my hands can't do the crimps all the time anymore. This murders me. mean to do this anyway. I wanted to reclaim these boards. They're still good boards, good parts. Never really been used. There was a lot of rambling tonight, wasn't it? Moaning about AI. AI is such a generic term, though. It's a whole field of cybernetics, which is the proper technical term for all of us. But no one uses proper technical terms anymore. We just put something in the machine, hope for the best, get some slop out, and move on. My hands are okay. So I think that's gonna be it for tonight. Been too much typing at work too. Actually, a lot of mousing of all things. Doing schematics and whatnot. There's a lot of mousing going on. Drawing it all up. All right, everyone. Thank you for watching and have a great night.